some lady from Fifth Element, the blue lady, and she's like, this is my jam, man. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. When I do it, I imagine that I am her, and that's why I sound just like her. Hello, collective. It's me, Patience, your favorite psychic, spirit medium, host of Spirit News on Spotify, a podcast where we teach you about your non-physical energy. I am here with my very own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. Mish, Maribel, Mantis. Those are my spirit guides. It's not an actual mantis. We will explain that in a next coming TikTok where we document the data of all of the little spirit nuggets we receive, the guidance, the suggestions, so we may be of service to the collective to help them in this time, to help usher in the new energy, the new earth energies, going into a new age of consciousness. It's fantastic. It is so much fun. I'm having so much fun with you, co-creating in this very unique way. I am having so much fun learning my psychic gift. I was born this way. Zara! Hello, dear. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your presence. I was born a psychic. I have been a psychic since birth. I was born this way. Cannot help the way I was born. We believe everybody is psychic, just at different levels. I repressed my psychic gift up until 4 or 5 years ago, where I decided to empower myself because through traumatic incidences, it activated itself and or reactivated itself, and I wanted to be able to understand it and control it, and so I was intuitively guided by my guides to empower myself to do so. So I took a course by James Van Praagh, a mediumship course that was like 80% off because I asked my spirit guides to help me, and that's who they sent to me, and I love him. I think he's a very good teacher. I resonate with him. He's fantastic. James Van Praagh. And so here I am, following the guidance of my guides, which is always a suggestion, and we document all of the data, all of the spirit nuggets, all the knowledge and wisdom that we receive. We share it with you. We do not hoard any knowledge. None of the knowledge we have is just for us. It is given to me under the circumstances that I share it, and I'm happy to do so with you so that you can understand that you are a non-physical entity having a human experience, and in the asking it is given. So we're here doing another psychic development read, learning how to read energy, and we're doing this to not only develop our own psychic intuitive gift, but to show you guys that it's happening and it's possible and that you can do it too. We believe everyone is psychic. Every single person here on this planet is psychic. Every animal, everything that is alive shares energy, and you can tap into it and you can read it. It's kind of like another language. It's feelings and symbols and metaphors, and we are interpreting the energy, learning how to read it through game cards, books, cards, pictures, following the intuitive hits that we are guided towards from spirit. Hello, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the likes, comments, shares, subscribes. We are so grateful. All the donations, all the emails of validation, confirmation. We're so grateful. We're so grateful to be here. So lately we've been having such fun readings. I've been having so much fun. I mean, I always have fun. But lately it's been so much fun because the energies that come through, I don't know why. And this is for entertainment purposes only. I have to say that for legal reasons. I cannot prove any of the things we get with physical evidence. We're just reading the energy. But we may be getting celebrities, passed over celebrities, getting higher perspectives of their human experiences. And I find that fascinating. It's so much fun to sit down and to ask spirit to show us what they want us to know and to see it from a different perspective than what we were shown or what we were told, and to compare it, and we follow the clues and we do it together, and that's really fun for me. I think it's very fun. So we're gonna do that today. I've cleansed my field. I've put my protection on. I've meditated. I've cleansed the whole place over here. It smells like yummy patchouli and burnt sage. I happen to love that smell. We did do a very new, brand new episode of Spirit News about the art of discernment. It's a very awesome episode where Spirit has given me information, suggestions, guidance to help you develop your own discernment. We all have it. We're all on different levels of it. Everybody on this earth has had an intuitive hit where they know that someone's going to call, or they know they shouldn't go down that road, or they know they should try a different store and they end up meeting their best friend or a love of their life. Those are subtle nudges and the subtle ways that Spirit speaks to us, because we're never alone. We did not come here without help. And so hey, new moon. Oh, welcome back. Thanks for being here. What's 3 plus 3? That's what I like doing for fun. Well, you know what I like? My favorite number is 36 because of 36 Chambers Wu-Tang. That was my favorite. That was my favorite album back in the day. And then 3 plus 6 is 9, so it's 369, and that's the language of the universe. So my favorite number is 36. So I don't know. We're speaking each other's language over here. So we're going to do an energy read. We're learning that energy is fluid. It is not held by space or time. It has no bounds. It's in and out, it's up and down, it's left and right. It's all and nothing. It's very fluid. It could be past, present, future. It could be an alternate timeline. It could be a Akashic record. Whatever it is, whatever we're tapping into, it is spiritually guided by a Holy Divine Spirit, and it will impart some kind of message or piece of knowledge or higher perspective of someone's human experience that Spirit deems valuable for this moment right now. And we have to remember that if it isn't our story, that it's somebody's story, and that whatever it is, Spirit wants us to know it, okay? Oh, thank you. Can we get married? What is married, you know? I was learning, we did an episode about women and men, like the energy of women and men, and how Spirit perceives a woman and a man. And Spirit said to me, and again, I can't prove it, but this is the knowledge that was being told to me by my spirit guides, is that Spirit does not, and Spirit is a catch-all phrase we use for angels, spirit guides, ancestors, loved ones, beings of love and light. They do not view those, it's that energy that is still non-physical, that's not currently in a physical form, okay? That's Spirit. And so when they perceive us, they do not perceive us like we do with each other as a physical man and woman. They only see our energy field. So we actually don't have genders. We have like dominating energy, like you could be more masculine energy, or you could be more feminine energy, or you could be balanced in both. But oh, thank you so much. Thank you, a new moon. You have a good day. Thanks for coming by. And so we did an episode about it because I found that fascinating, that Spirit doesn't even look at us in that way to separate us. You know, they just see our energy field. So that's very interesting. I don't know why I brought that up. Maybe I'll have relevance to what we're going to talk about. All right. Oh my gosh, look. Ridwan, you were saying married? Well, look, this was sticking out. Gets married. Someone's getting married. Or someone wants to get married. And that's so funny. I don't know what that's going to be about. But let's follow it. Let's follow it. Okay. Going to... Spirit said depends. It depends on how I read the energy, I guess. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. She's into getting to get a clean in the mood. I don't know what that means. All right, where should we start? You know what? I've been loving starting with a prayer. So let's start with a prayer. Do you have friends on the other side? I do have friends on the other side. I do. I have family, I have friends, I have new friends, I have ancestors, I got a whole crew, I got a whole team. Everybody does. Adonai. Adonai. Thanks for being here, everybody. All right, so let's do a psalm. Oh, look, prayer for divine help. Divine help. Graciously rescue me, God. Psalm 70. Come quickly to me, Lord. Let those who seek my life be confused and put to shame. Let those who desire my ruin turn back in disgrace. Let those who say, Aha, turn back in their shame. But may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Those who long for your help always say, God be glorified. I am miserable and poor. God, come to me quickly. You are my help and deliverer. Lord, do not delay. Oh, I'm feeling some kind of urgency. Whoever we're going to talk about today could have possibly been wanting to get married urgently, or married someone urgently, or something about getting married and doing something quickly because they felt like their life was in danger, or they felt like by marrying someone it would rescue them, or something like that. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Let's do the amazing story generator. Okay, we'll see. Let's see. Spirit, Holy Divine Spirit, thank you so much for all you do. I am so grateful. Please bring the messages forward. I am so grateful for all I have and all my blessings, and I'm happy right now and I have everything I need, and everything works out for me. An incurable plague rages across the globe. Well, that feels urgent. Okay. And remember, Spirit isn't always speaking literal. A lot of times what comes up is metaphorical, or it's some kind of symbology for something. So that's all in how it's read. A spoiled teenager. Oh my gosh. While on a second honeymoon, this whole married thing, this is the third thing about married. As an incurable plague rages across the globe while on a second honeymoon, a spoiled teenager develops short-term memory loss. Joins the first manned mission to Mars. Huh. So there's somebody here. There's somebody here of authority. Someone possibly who works for the government, because joins the first manned mission to Mars. I mean, a government official would go to Mars before any of us. Like, I don't know, like the president or a governor or something like that. Or maybe even like military, something like that. Has to do something quickly. An incurable plague rages across the globe because they had to, on a second honeymoon. A second honeymoon. I kind of feel like that implies that they're married already and they're cheating on someone that they're like pillow talking with, or they're saying that they want to marry or something like that.
7:00.
As an incurable plague rages across the globe, develops short-term memory loss. Short-term memory loss. I don't know why this is giving me a thought of like Confirmation.
Slow.
Confirmation. Like, I'm getting a vision of like a chunk of someone's brain taken out. Not, I don't think it's literal. I think it's just like a vision of like, I'm not sure. Short-term memory loss. I think this person actually has suffered some kind of brain damage or something, or got hit in the head or something like that. Let me write this down. So this person, what I'm getting here. Oh, and even my head hurts. My head hurts right in the middle of my head. Okay. Where's my pen? All right, let's see. So joins the first man mission to Mars. So that tells me that this is someone of authority. This is somebody in power. This is somebody who may know top secret information. This is somebody who's privy to top secret information. Okay, like a government official or like a president.
Nope.
Spirit said nope. Or some kind of like world leader or something like that. Okay. A spoiled teenager. A spoiled teenager and a person of authority, perhaps someone that comes from a family of money, like a well-off family, someone that is like a trust fund baby. Trust fund baby. And Spirit just said run. An incurable plague rages across the globe. So this person did something quickly. They felt like they may have known some kind of information that was considered detrimental to the world. And so they felt like they had to do something quickly. They felt like they could have possibly felt like they were in danger from developing short-term memory loss. They were in danger of receiving some kind of head injury. An incurable plague rages. Okay.
6.
This person was possibly married and cheating with someone else they wanted to be married to, because it says well on a second honeymoon. And the plague, they knew some kind of knowledge, something that would affect the globe negatively. Affect globe negatively. So they knew they had to act quickly. Huh. An authority, top secret government official, perhaps a world leader, a governor, a president, something like that, that comes from a affluent family, perhaps some kind of trust fund baby, or like someone who comes from a family of reputable family, because they're a spoiled teenager. They're perhaps cheating on someone they were married with somebody they wanted to be married with, or someone they said they were going to marry, because it says well on a second honeymoon. They did something quickly because they knew about some kind of negative knowledge about that would affect the world, so they acted quickly for something. Damn. Well, horrible is where it says. Huh. Well, let's do the infinite human. Okay. Spirit, please continue giving me clues about what is going on here. Part of me still believed that if I could just be like my mother, marry a man I didn't love, and settle down to raise a family, I would be accepted by my family and find the love I so desperately sought from my mother. So when I returned home for Christmas break, I got back together with my high school sweetheart, who followed me to college where history repeated itself and we broke up again. After that, I secretly vowed to stop trying to be like my mother, the image of a powerless, sexually repressed, weak, suffering Mother Mary. I would become the opposite. I would never be vulnerable to men again. I would become a woman of the world, which had caused me so much pain and sorrow. My feminine side was no match for this depraved fallen world dominated by wounded males. So I decided to stow it away and toughen up. I furthered my sexual education by reading books like Erica Jong's Fear of Flying and Xaviera Hollander's The Happy Hooker. But instead of becoming a man-eater, I became a conundrum, a patchwork of sexual inhibitions, repressed anger, and wounded inner child traumas, all shoved into the body of a young woman trying her best to portray the Pygmalion of male fantasies. Spirit said unacceptable. So this person may be some kind of, they're cheating on their wife, possibly with a blonde bombshell. This government person or this person of authority confirmation is cheating with a blonde bombshell. Someone who has mommy issues, who is a man-eater, that is very sexual or portrays a male fantasy. Someone who seems innocent and naive. This is who they're cheating with. A femme fatale. Innocent and naive. A femme fatale. Okay. This man is attachment. This man's attached to this woman. But this woman is powerless. She's some kind of sweetheart. This person may have married someone their family wanted them to marry. Thank you, Spirit. This authority figure, this person of authority, this government official, perhaps a president or a world leader that knows top secret information, that comes from a very wealthy to-do family, may have had to marry someone they didn't love because they were whoever they married was accepted by their family, but they didn't actually love them. Whoever they married is somebody who's repressed, sexually weak and powerless. Sexually repressed, weak and powerless is who they married. Someone who's like their mother, someone who reminds them of their mother. Ooh. So that's why they went to a happy hooker. Not that whoever they were with is a hooker, but she's a man-eater. She's very sexual. She may dress she may be uninhibited. She has repressed anger. She's looking for someone to save her. This man is just trying to find someone that fits his male fantasy. Because the woman he married that he doesn't actually love, that he may have known since high school, is more like his mother, and he's not attracted to her. Okay. What else? Thank you so much, Spirit. Please give us another clue. Because their version of reality is selective or even delusional, they are very ineffective in making positive changes in the world. I told you this is like a world leader. Disobligement. What does that mean? Hold, please.
Club.
Disobligement. 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 No. Disoblige.
Here's the definition of disoblige: offend someone by not acting in accordance with their wishes.
One didn't disoblige them if one could help it. Plump. They are ineffective at making positive changes in the world and are being used as pawns to fabricate a false AI prison. This could be, I feel like this is a president. I feel like this is a passed over president that's saying that they were just a pawn. They weren't able to make any effective, positive changes in the world because they were being used as pawns to fabricate a false AI prison. And it doesn't have to be literal AI prison, but this person, like in the beginning, we said that this person knew of some kind of plague, a knowledge of some kind of plague that would affect the globe negatively. And they felt like they had to act quickly. Spiritual bypassing is an act of pure egoistic selfishness in the guise of projecting oneself as an evolved, pious, or higher consciousness person. The profile of this person is that they ignore or downplay certain events they consider negative in order to protect themselves from being mentally or emotionally triggered. Gun. So if this is a president, they may have overlooked something they knew was negative in order to protect themselves mentally and emotionally because they didn't want to deal with it. So they, instead of dealing with the fact that, or being honest with themselves, they ignored and downplayed certain events that they knew were negative. They downplayed them. Research said bump. The danger of this Pollyanna approach is that those who continue to see the positive in everything and follow the herd may be culled, transhumanized, or worse, incur the karma of serving satanic forces. Even if you claim ignorance or believe that you are doing it for the good of humanity, you can never escape the natural laws of cosmic karma. Like children claiming exemption with the excuse "he told me to," this does not hold water under the law of one. All karmic debts must be paid. This is why good Christians can never answer the age-old questions, why do bad things happen to good people? Satanic forces. So this person, what happened was this president, he knew that what he was hiding, what he was doing was wrong. And he didn't want to protect, he just wanted to protect himself mentally and emotionally. He said he was protecting, he must have said or believed that he was protecting the collective, but really he was just protecting himself because if 1920s, because if he really was protecting the collective, then he would have warned the collective about some impending danger that was going to happen, that he knew about, something that was going to happen in the future that he knew, that he considered to be negative. He was being selfish. He was spiritual bypassing by acting like by downplaying certain events that they considered negative to protect the collective, knowing that the collective should know. Wow. He claimed ignorance and believed that he was doing it for the good of humanity. Since we live in a time where the energies on our planet are augmenting daily, all karmic debts are coming up for payment in full. Refusing to pay, heal, or evolve will cause you to once again miss the boat of ascension and be trapped in a false ascension time matrix prison, never even knowing what you missed. And believe me, ignorance is not bliss. Many have been doing this for millions upon millions of Earth years without even knowing it. If that is your choice, fine, but many of you have grown soul weary of this never-ending time loop of slavery and are choosing to return home. You must wake up to reclaim your God-sovereign freedom. You must wake up to the truth of what is going on around you and stop participating in the dream spell. That is key. It is not just enough to wake up and try to wake others up, but you must do your own inner work. Only then will you not leave dark portals open in your auric body for dark forces to take hold of your consciousness. We attract to us what we need to experience. Make changes in yourself, then your outer world will follow. Free yourself and you will step out of the finite 3D world of illusion and into the divine light of your soul mission. This person stepped out of their soul mission because they were being selfish because they didn't want to lose everything because they were delusional. They thought that if they downplayed certain events that they were experiencing, it wouldn't matter. They would be saving humanity, but they were delusional because they were selective about the version of reality they were experiencing. This has two spirits. I think this person and the person they were cheating with. The person they were cheating with is a blonde bombshell, a man-eater, a male fantasy who acts innocent and naive. And their wife was a sexually repressed, boring person that reminded them of their mom. Like their mother. And they weren't attracted to them. They knew they were being used as a pawn in some kind of global scheme. They had they had knowledge about some kind of satanic force or something, or it doesn't have to be satanic, it could just be some kind of negativity that was going on, and instead of doing what was right, they downplayed it, and they downplayed it knowing it was negative to protect themselves under the guise of protecting the people. So how can I find out? So they ended up paying karmic debt because they missed their soul mission. They were supposed to do something. They were supposed to break some kind of never-ending loop. Something that could possibly be a generational curse for this person. They didn't do that, though. They could have possibly perpetuated it by cheating on their wife. Perhaps this president has a family that's known for cheating or for taking bribes or doing things. Thank you, Spirit. For doing things under the guise of doing it for a higher purpose. It's a lie, though. It's a lie. So that's their generational curse, and there's something that happened to their head because some short-term memory, something that happened to their head, and I had a sharp pain in my head earlier when I was talking about seeing that vision of like I don't know how to describe it because it's kind of like abstract, but what I envision is Have you ever seen those memes that have the walking brain and it's like a heart and a brain and they're like friends? It's like a walking brain but with like a chunk taken out of it. So something, this person was afraid of something. They were trying to act with urgency because they knew something, they had some kind of knowledge about some kind of event or effect that would, something that would affect the globe negatively. So they were acting quickly about something.
17.
Huh.
Type.
Thank you so much, Spirit. Tell me more. Tell me more about this. What's this knowledge about a plague that would affect the globe? 22 mysteries. The void. Ether, the void, darkness. Oh, shit. This person knew that some kind of darkness was going to encapsulate the globe. Oh my gosh, go deeper. Watch the movie The Never-Ending Story. I love The Never-Ending Story. And the book just talked about never-ending loops. Something about keeping the globe in a karmic cycle? In some kind of destiny shift into darkness? The stage behind the curtain.
Many spirits.
This president had knowledge about some kind of darkness that was going to change the destiny of the world, and they chose to do nothing about it. And so what happened to them, something happened to their memory or something they did led to some kind of memory loss or head injury or something, or because they were fighting science or spirituality. They have been humbled because they did nothing. They did nothing. Their actions of doing nothing, knowing this very pertinent information, they were some kind of world leader that had information, but they were just being used as a pawn. And so this person, instead of acknowledging or doing some kind of reflection, they just kind of like followed the rules. They didn't,
6 o'clock.
they knew that they were in a place of power, but they knew that they had no actual power. And they knew that their possession was just a title. It wasn't like they had any real power. And so they didn't find that they could do anything, so they decided to do nothing at all. So they just kind of like went into their darkness. Exhaustingly, Spirit says. They went into their own darkness where they continued their own generational curses. They didn't do any meditation. They didn't do any critical thinking at that time. They just kind of gave into their fleshy, they gave into this blonde bombshell, this femme fatale, this male fantasy, fathering. They didn't surrender to what their mission, what they were supposed to do, what they were in a place, they have gotten themselves to a place of power. Instead of breaking generational curses and changing their destiny, changing the possibilities. They decided to just be used as a pawn. That's what they decided to do. And because they knew that what they were doing was wrong, it ate away at them, and they dove into their toxicity, to their toxic generational curses, which is possibly
Plans.
cheating, um, cheating on women, and lying, and going with the crowd, not standing up for themselves, not speaking up, not taking control. True. Thank you, Spirit.
Prince.
This person, this president, this could possibly be a president that's passed that was cheating with a blonde bombshell, a man-eater who's every male's fantasy, who acts innocent and naive. They're femme fatale. Their actual wife was an arranged marriage. They could have perhaps known them since they're in high school. They were not sexually attracted to this person. The person they were married to is like their mother. They were sexually repressed. They could have fallen in love with this femme fatale, and they got lost in physicality. They forgot their mission. They kind of used this person as a way to escape the truth.
Attached.
They attached themselves to this femme fatale who acted innocent and naive, who's a man-eater because they have their own unhealed wounds, and they have a mother wound where they want to be opposite of whoever their mother was. They're very sensual. This person viewed this woman as like having vitality, fullness, sensuality. This person was looking at this femme fatale as a way to escape physicality or escape their situation. This person's in a place of power, but they don't control the narrative. They're just a pawn. They just get used as a face, as a title. They don't have real power, but yet they're still privileged to high top secret knowledge. They knew of some kind of plague, which is metaphorical, that's going to some kind of plan. Spirit said plan earlier, plans that swept over the nation, or that was going to be swept over the nation and then swept under the carpet. Their mission was to stop this. They were in a place of power where they could have actually changed their destiny and their narrative, but they decided to hide, and by diving into their physical needs, and continuing generational curses. They decided to celebrate rather than connect. They allowed themselves to be swept away by this tantalizing phenom that's very stealth-like and seductive. It kind of came in like a whirlwind. They didn't see this coming. It kind of like blew smoke
Number
up
7.
their ass. This may have been some kind of
Attached.
this femme fatale may have been hired as some kind of distraction because this president or this person of authority was starting to show signs that couldn't be ignored about what they may have intended to do, or so some kind of ritual or accident was carried out, something that would strike fear and destruction into the hearts of those who saw, everyone would become alert to what's happening around them, that would burn people. Something happened to them that was a ritual that would look like an accident. Jacket. It was designed to blow smoke up the asses of the world, to strike fear and destruction in the hearts to those who haven't woken up yet. What? A ritual that looked like an accident? A ritual? Was it a ritual or an accident?
The number 6.
To strike
So,
fear. Wasn't JFK dating Marilyn Monroe? And didn't JFK get hit in the head by a bullet? 44444. I think we're talking to JFK, you guys. And he came from an affluent family. And he was married to Jackie Onassis that he wasn't sexually attracted to because he thought she was like his mom. Oh my gosh. This says a ritual or an accident, question mark. To bring fear and destruction, to blow smoke,
Brandon.
to blow smoke up the asses of those around. So they may flee in a panic as a distraction. This president may have been unalived by a ritual? Hmm. Spirit, please clarify this ritual or accident for me. Lawyers. We'd throw some jokes in here, but we are afraid of getting sued. The FBI. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the primary investigative agency for the U.S. Department of Justice. They're listening.
Probably.
Oh, sorry, it's crooked. Lawyers, the FBI, South Park. Highly rated, highly offensive animated cartoon. Oh my god, we killed Kenny. Oh, shit. Are you saying that the FBI or the Department of Justice unalived JFK? This is for entertainment purposes only. I cannot prove this. This is just for fun. Oh my gosh, what? It says lawyers. Because they had to silence this president because he was falling in love with this femme fatale who didn't really love him. She was sent in to distract him because he knew some kind of important information that he wanted to get out, but they knew that if he let this information out, then they would get sued. They'd have to get some lawyers. So they decided to take matters into their own hands. Ghosts, lawyers, FBI, South. Listen to this. We'd throw some jokes in here, but we're afraid of getting sued. The FBI is a primary investigative agency for the U.S. Department of Justice, and they're listening. The highly rated, highly offensive animated series, oh my god, we killed Kenny. They're listening, we killed Kenny. My first kiss, sparks were flying, of course. That could have been the braces. My First Kiss, and Ghosts. And Marilyn Monroe is dead too. They killed both of them. Oh my gosh. So what happened was they put Marilyn Monroe, or whoever this naive femme fatale, this blonde bombshell man-eater, male fantasy, who acted innocent and naive, a femme fatale, was hired to watch this person, to listen to this person, to make sure this person doesn't talk to anyone. But they ended up falling in love, is what happened. They ended up falling in love. They ended up having sparks flying. They ended up, or this person fell in love with the blonde bombshell. I'm not sure. I think they both fell in love with each other, honestly. But there was this FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice and lawyers were getting in between them because many people were getting in between them because this person had unhealed wounds and was continuing generational curses, and so they didn't want this person to achieve their mission, which was to stop this knowledge they have about some kind of plague that would affect the globe negatively, which is some kind of karmic cycle, some plan to keep the globe in a karmic cycle, in a loop of negativity. They knew about it, but they didn't do anything about it. They didn't do anything about it because they were having fun. They were doing their own thing. They said to themselves, it's of no consequence to me. It doesn't matter what I do because I have no power and I have to protect the people. It was a lie they told themselves. So they didn't have to take responsibility. So they didn't have to step up to the plate, because they would have lost everything. They would have needed a lawyer from the information they would have had to share. And they were afraid. They were afraid that that's the memory loss. That's the chunk of the brain taken out. JFK was shot in the head, and Spirit said gun. Wow. They were taken out by their own government, supposedly, because of what they knew. And Marilyn, or this femme fatale, was supposed to be a decoy to keep them away from their mission, but they ended up falling in love because sparks were flying. And now they're both ghosts, non-material embodiments of the essence of organisms. They're quite spirited. Michelangelo, Madame Curie, and Flipper. Inspired Italian sculptor, architect, painter, a real Renaissance man. French chemist and physicist who won a Nobel Prize for her work on radiation. A Curie is a unit of radioactivity. Flipper. American television dolphin of the 1960s, like Lassie, only wetter.
Stand.
Modern Renaissance. Modern Renaissance?
What?
Mud. Definition of modern Renaissance? The movement that focused on rediscovering and promoting ancient ideals and practices, while also proposing new discoveries in line with technological advancement and more humanistic worldview. Michelangelo. A rebirth. That's why they took him out, because it would have interfered with their plan of radioactivity, because Earth would have had a rebirth. Earth's rebirth has been withheld for so long that now it's like imploding on itself. And there's no choice but to get wet. You have to go in the water, flipper. You have to, it's time. Since the 1960s, Earth's been repressed from ascending into higher frequencies, and this president or person of authority knew about it, and they were supposed to help create a renaissance in the 1960s, but they ended up getting ghosted because they fell in love with a femme fatale who's possibly Marilyn Monroe, and oh my god, we unalived the FBI. Don't come for me, okay? I'm just reading the energy. Don't come for me, okay? If it's done, it's in the energy. I'm just reading it, okay? Mastermind. I'm telling you, the FBI, or the U.S. Department of Justice, was the mastermind behind JFK assassination and the unaliving of Marilyn Monroe because they fell in love. Marilyn Monroe is supposed to be a decoy to distract this president from doing their job to have a modern day renaissance in the 1960s. That's why the love movement, remember the 1960s, it was all about love and Woodstock, and we were on this like rise to like bringing love back, man. It's all about love. And then what happened? The war happened, and all these bad things started happening, and this person knew about it, but they were so caught up in the pleasures of the flesh by distractions that they couldn't heal, they couldn't do the right thing, because they were just being used as a pawn. They never had power to begin with. They were just a title. Wow. Oh my goodness. Higher perspectives. Greenpeace. I told you. Oh my gosh. Greenpeace. International organization dedicated to preserving the Earth's natural resources and its diverse plant and animal life. I love you, Spirit. This person their mission was supposed to solidify a modern renaissance in the 1960s, bringing back a more humanistic worldview and a rebirth of Earth. But instead, the opposite happened because they didn't fulfill their mission. They were X'd out before they could even do what they were supposed to do. They were going to do the right thing, and they knew about it, and they decided that can't happen because it goes against what their plan was, which was to keep Earth in a karmic cycle and a never-ending loop of negativity. So when you incarnate here, you don't remember that you need to break karmic cycles over and over again. But the thing is that you cannot change frequency and vibration. No matter how much you repress the human population, we're still on Earth on a big rock moving in space closer to the sun. And so you cannot stop that. And maybe you can hold it back a little, but you can't stop it. And the reason why that's important is because as we move closer to the sun, and this is all information I got from my spirit guides, as we move closer to the sun amplifies Earth's magnetic field, causing it to elevate, vibrate faster. So all inhabitants of Earth, their fields have to move faster too. It's like, you don't have a choice. And so that's the energy we're in right now. We're in the age of Aquarius. So these people were trying to repress this from happening because Earth is a living being, a living entity, and she has her own consciousness that she's elevating, and that's why we're all elevating ours too. And so you cannot stop consciousness from happening. It's going to happen, and that's why it was supposed to happen in the 1960s, but we've all been repressed, and this person was going to be a leader for New Earth energies to invoke a Greenpeace, to invoke a rebirth of Earth, but they stopped that and repressed this information. But you can't stop it now. Now it's like the effect of like snapping a rubber band back. You snap a rubber band, it goes, now it's like that. Because everyone's everyone's consciousness has been repressed so much that it's speeding up so fast now in this time that you're being forced to heal all those generational curses, all the things that trigger you, all the things that make you feel yucky. That's why they're coming up more often. That's why every person you meet is not, is reflecting those things you need to heal, because the earth energies are not allowing anything that doesn't match its new frequency and vibration to be here. So you have to process it. Otherwise, you'll be very uncomfortable. Wow, Spirit, did it again. I'll be loving you. I'll be loving you so much. Thank you so much, President JFK. If this was you, I am so grateful for your higher perspective of your human experience. I appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom you have imparted to us. Let this be a lesson to you. Do not ignore things that are coming up all the time for you. This is not a time to ignore or do spiritual bypassing, pretending like you're not triggered. If you are triggered, take that as a sign that there are things you need to heal, and you better hurry up and do it. Not that there's no urgency. It's not going to be the end of the world or anything, but it's going to be uncomfortable as long as you let it linger there and sizzle and do everything else to distract yourself other than just feeling the feeling and getting over it. Just feel the feeling, get over it, and move on. Okay. I love you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.